what's really important with how things are in the world at the moment is to talk about the positivity that you know we should have a reality of what is actually going on, but we shouldn't allow it to take away our positivity because I believe that there is the essence of faking things to make it. And there's something called toxic positivity as well, where it's not really a sincere or authentic positivity. And I think we have to be in the reality of who we are. So regardless of what's going on in the world at the moment, because there's quite a lot of dark things that are taking our attention, distracting us, and taking away our purpose in some ways because we're uh, getting involved with fear of where the world is going, how's our country gonna be, how people are changing, how there's such division and separateness, and we are losing the fundamental part of life, that is that we are all united as one. And whatever is happening in the systems and the division, it's working to an extent because it's getting people arguing, it's getting people angry. There's a left and a right, and there's and everything in between, and it just causes so much division and so much unrest. Because a lot of people will know, as William has said, I hold a sitting in the power session on every Monday at 7 p.m. in the UK, and it's online. And I've just started to think recently, because it's in its seventh year now. And initially it was to sort of help people have that just 30 minutes to remember that divine essence that is within them and around them, maybe so that they can improve their mediumship or their speaking or whatever it is that they're working with at that moment in time. And something, I got like a light bulb moment just a few weeks ago when I was talking with a friend who sort of goes down rabbit holes with everything that's going on at the moment, and that she really didn't know how to cope with life, with the things that she was unveiling or discovering and reading, and where it was taking her. And I thought, it's really sad, because even though there's a reality to some of the things that they are reading and taking in, it makes people helpless in the way of, this is out of our control. This is something that we can't control, we can't deal with, because it's on different levels of society. However, we have a responsibility and accountability for ourselves. So I believe that when we sit within the power of spirit, when we remember that divine essence, we remember that we are connected to all and everything. We're never separate. That beautiful spirit within that we have is what unites every single one of us. And there is no division, there is no separateness. And no matter what somebody else is doing, if it's morally and ethically wrong, just remember and go within your morals and ethics. Remember who you are to the world, because that doesn't change. That doesn't change who you are, what anybody else does. Whether it's groups of people, whether it's individuals, whether it's in your own town or cities, you have your own moral compass, you have your own ethics, values, and no matter what anybody does, you should never forget who you are. And I believe by practicing sitting in the power regular, you don't have to sit for 60 minutes, you don't have to sit in the silence. You can maybe listen to a piece of music, you can just take a breath. The breath can take you into the power, because the breath is life itself and the power is life. And we can go and walk in nature. We can go and look at a stream that's flowing, and go to the ocean and look at the waves, even the sun that shines, and feeling the heat on your skin, or the breeze of the wind. Whatever it is that can enable you to feel the presence of spirit, of nature, because I believe nature is spirit as well. So it does take us all in one, because it is the oneness and the unison. The more that we acknowledge with gratitude the very essence of this experience, the less influenced we become to what is going on that is negative. And I believe that can bring our positivity in, because how many times within, and I'm going to talk about meditation or mindfulness or sitting in the power, I used to put it off all the time. I never had time to do it. And if I'm too busy within life, I've got too much going on, so I couldn't find 5 minutes just to sit down and sit in the power, or just take that time. And because that's the conscious mind that is absolutely trying to dominate and control and distract. Your own conscious mind does that. And what we need to do is to allow the soul mind of us to be able to be in harmony with the conscious mind. Because when we allow that to happen, that's when the inspiration, the support from the spirit world can come through, and a whole manner of divine knowledge that is open to us, that is available. Because when our conscious mind is full of fear, full of worry, full of negativity, it's very hard for anything to break through that, because it's consumed with that, and it's consumed with controlling to deal with this worry, to problem solve, to do whatever it is that we feel we need to do within our lives. Yet if we just give that time in that light and the power of the Great Spirit, God, the Christ consciousness, the divine, the creator, however you perceive it to be, and just giving that time, surrendering in that moment, it just allows maybe the tension to release. It gives a time for you to be able to have a sacred space. I'm not saying that the worries, the chaos and everything that within your life will stop, that is going on around you, because that's not the case. But it's about allowing yourself to give you the peace within that chaos. And it's a bit like the eye of the storm. If you think of the eye of the storm is the most peaceful part of the storm. And whilst we're in that position, we are able to be receptive to inspiration, maybe even a solution to what is going on around us, maybe the answers, because our soul holds all of the answers to whatever is needed within our lives, and nobody knows you better than your own soul. So to give yourself that time to be inspired is probably the greatest gift that you could ever give to yourself. And it's one that we so often take for granted. It's one that we so often deny ourselves of, because we have to worry about things. We have to control things to make sure everything's right for other people, for situations, for work, for family. But just allowing just that short time, even if it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or just even a few seconds with the breath, you're actually giving yourself the gift. And that gift is a service, the service of God, the service of God that will enable you to give it away in the service of humanity. Because I believe our purpose here in this world is to be ignited by the Great Spirit, to be moved by the Spirit, and to express our own unique soul through the power of the Spirit in the service to humanity. So when we look at the spirit world, they of course are there, our guides, inspirers, friends in the spirit world, loved ones. They're there in support, love and encouragement, as they were here in this world. That love never, ever stops. There is no death. It continues. And through that, we are able to, those in the spirit world, those that help us, they know we have a unique pathway of the soul. We've come in this world, on this earth, for a human experience. And it's for us to be able to utilize that spiritual essence of us to help people to feel like they're not alone, showing them that they're as one, they are not divided, we are not separate. And the more that we can be that light that emanates, the more of the chance that people will feel it. So by not allowing the negative aspects of the world that could even be done deliberately to create this darkness within our minds, because it sort of brings a control in a way, because it keeps people down in a way of not expressing the purpose, not living lives as they should do. But if you are in touch, and I don't even like saying connected, because you're never disconnected. I always like to say it's remembering the divine, the God, essence, whatever, however you perceive it to be, and remembering that. And I think remembering is such a powerful concept as well, because if we were to say to connect, then it's kind of like an act of finding something to connect to, when really you're already connected. So we're not connecting, we are remembering, we are acknowledging this presence, this light that is within and around us. And I believe it's our duty to be expressive of that, like a lighthouse. And we can move people, we can help people without speaking, just by presence. And it's a wonderful thing. It's just a wonderful ability that we all have, each and every one of us, to be able to share with one another. So I believe that with all the darkness that's going on in the world, be the light. Be the light, be the change. Don't allow the influence of something, that is of darkness, to allow it to diminish your sparkle, your light, your essence. And all it takes is a little bit of maintenance, I believe, is, I hold the Sitting in the Power each week. Some people come every week. I have the hardcore Sitting in the Power people. People come in that are new, and it's great. Some people dip in. I call it like the spiritual gym. So it's like I'm always there. I'm available. You come in, and I'm the host. This is your experience. This is for you. And what I've learned now is, I may not sit in the power every day, and that's okay. But I used to beat myself up for not doing that. But what I do now is each morning, and this is automatic, I wake up, and this is always when I'm sort of like waking up, and I wake up with gratitude for the day, gratitude for life. And that gratitude for life is gratitude of the power. And when you have the gratitude of the power, you're remembering that you are the power. You're remembering, and it's all at once acknowledging, and you are in the existence of all and everything in the universe. So that acknowledgement with gratitude is just something for me that maintains my power, my sanity, I think sometimes, and my reality when everything is kind of like hard in life, where family's concerned, and different, all amounts of different issues that we can have. But also when we go to bed at night. When I go to bed at night, I just feel this breath and this release of the day. And it's like, thank you for this day, whether it's been good or bad or indifferent. Thank you for the day. I'm grateful. And again, that just helps you to remember the essence of the light and the power of the Creator. And that's simple things that I do that are part of my routine. And and I'll sit in the power if I want to. I'll go for a walk if I want to. I'll listen to some music if I want to. So I use all different aspects of that to help me to maintain when things aren't so kind in the world, always remind yourself of the kindness that you are and what you are to the world. And I just want to leave you with those words and say thank you for listening.